It is Championship Sunday. Sorry, it is Championship Thursday here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. At the beginning of the season, 43 men began their dreams of hoisting the Sprint Cup Championship at Daytona. When the playoffs began in Darlington just a handful of weeks ago, 16 men had one goal: be part of the championship conversation at Homestead. At this day, today, 4 drivers will have that opportunity: Dylan Murway, Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Jimmy Johnson is no stranger to success when it comes to winning Sprint Cup championships. He won 5 straight from 2006 to 2010, including 2 more victories in 2013 and 2016, tying Richard Petty and the late Dale Earnhardt. Speaking of Dale Earnhardt, his teammate, this is his first appearance in the Championship 4 conversation. And what a better way to add to his father's legacy than a championship of his own. But what about Dylan Murway, the young kid from Colorado, who opened up a race team at the beginning of the season and immediately started banging around with the big boys? Or Carl Edwards, who is the only Ford in this championship hunt. Could he bring the first trophy to Jack Roush since 2004? We're about to find out in a few moments. Dylan Murway, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt Jr. all start in the top 4. Carl Edwards starts 16th. Tony Stewart, when he won his 2011 championship where he faced off against Carl Edwards, started 16th. Guess where that got Tony Stewart? His 3rd championship. At the end of the day, history will be made. Legacies will be written. Dreams will be made, but dreams will be shattered. For the other 3 drivers, the first driver across to reach the checkered flag is the champion at the end of the day. Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. start behind Dylan Murway, but out front, Dylan Murway and Greg Biffle will lead the field down to begin the final race this season. Pace car is off. We're underway at Homestead. Out of turn 4, Dylan Murway will lead the first lap. Greg Biffle is taken over second from Jimmy Johnson. Jeff Gordon is the fastest car on the track right now. As Dylan Murway continues to pull away from Greg Biffle. 53 laps on tap. This race will feature at least one green flag run. It could come down to pit strategy or whoever has the fastest car, or whoever can stay long enough in the groove. Homestead International Miami Speedway was opened in 1997 as basically the equivalent to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Flat corners and basically a symmetrical shape with 2 straightaways and 2 identical corners. 4 identical corners, I'm sorry. In 2003, after complaints of there being no passing and it only being a one-groove racetrack, Homestead was repaved and reconfigured into the facility we know today, with progressive banking, meaning there's more banking up top than there is in the middle and there is on the bottom. Dylan Murray continuing to open a nice little smackdown on the rest of the field, but however, Greg Biffle's keeping him close. Jimmy Johnson is losing a lot of momentum on that inside lane. And though, could this possibly be because of the way that everybody's driving this? So this means, as of right now, the championship 4, the order on the track is the order they run. The first of the 4, whether that be Edwards, Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson, or Dylan Murray, the first of those 4 across the checkered flag is the champion. Everybody wants to win, but the first of those 4 will be the champion for the season on NASCAR Inside Line. Dylan Murray has a little over 3/4 of a second lead on the field. Continuing to open his lead. He's up to 100, almost got to 190 in the straightaways before being in the corners. And remember what we said about this place being, having multiple grooves on the track? The outside lane's moving pretty fast and is actually going to catch Greg Biffle, catch Dylan Murray. Obviously, the final 4, the outside lane being led by the 16 of Greg Biffle. Jimmy John, there is a black car on the inside lane way at the end of this group that looks like is blending in with the back of the lead group. Looks like Jimmy Johnson is part of that mix. But everything seems to settle down. Dylan got the wall, and that somehow allowed that second group to close in. Kyle Busch. It looks like cars are already coming down pit lane for the first round of green flag pit stops today. Kind of odd. There's Biffle in second. Looks like Junior is third, and Matt Kenseth is in fourth. Junior and Kenseth are pitting. And green flag pit stops up. Pit this time. Pit this time, dude. Come on. Come down pit road. Fill this thing up. Fill her up. Put some tires on it. 10-4. You saw the crew chief communications there on the radio of Dylan Murray. New number color this week on the 25. Peeling down onto pit road. Jimmy Johnson did not come down pit road on the initial wave. You can't make any mistakes here because you get a speeding penalty or possibly have a pit road issue. That could hurt you in the long run. As Scott Speed is your leader and looking to put Dylan Murway and Jimmy Johnson one lap down. .41 laps to go. Looks like Scott Speed is on pit road. Josh Wise is your race leader. 14 laps are complete. Here at Homestead, drivers coming back around, and it looks to be Dylan Murway is net just a little over half a second behind Kenseth. Going to cross into Kenseth, try to get under him. And it looks like Dylan Murway is going to cycle out in fifth. So this means Dale Jr. is now the leader and would be the champion if this race were to end right now. As we speak, Dylan Murway tries to set a pass on Matt Kenseth for fourth. Lot of lap traffic up ahead on the high side and the bottom low side as well. Dylan Murway trying to hold his line, and he's going to get the break he needs to come right past Junior and right to the point. Whoa, big moment there for Dylan Murway. He thinks better of it. Josh Wise blending onto the racetrack. Here comes Biffle. Trying to stick his nose in there. Puts McDowell a lap down. And then Quapple. Here's Castle on the bottom. Robbie Gordon up top. A little bit of contact there. Looks like Dylan gets loose, goes up the track, and allows Castle to take the lead. .35 laps to go in what would be one of the more shorter races on the schedule. Dylan Murway has led all 18 laps. We are working lap 19. We have not had one caution yet. We got two more cars, bottom and top, that are probably going to go a lap down here. Racing for position. Mears 36th, Amarola 35th. Dylan Murray going to cross under Amarola to put him a lap down. Mears as well. The only thing standing in front of him would be the 47 of Bobby Labonte. And put him one lap down. So it would be 9 cars that are off the lead lap. Austin Dillon is the last car on the lead lap. Austin Dillon trying to fight to stay on the lead lap. Looks like that won't happen. He is sitting in 33rd place. Almost 9.5 seconds ahead of the 16 of Greg Biffle. And what has been caution-free so far. Hopefully it'll stay that way. And close to halfway in this race. After Dylan Murray passes Scott Speed, open traffic in front of him, as looks like drivers are being the second round of green flag stops. Murray trying to put the throttle down to clear speed. And then more cars come to pit road. Oh. Dylan Murray got the wall off too. Looks like, yeah, he's got a lot of damage. That may affect his handling later. All the damage to the side of the 25. There's Murray trying to lock it down. Ready to flip the car. And so it begins. Greg Biffle back to the lead. And Trevor Bain just put Dylan Murray lap down as the caution is out. And it looks like, oh, big hit. Junior's in it. Earnhardt Jr. got caught up in the crash. Looks like I saw Jeff Gordon in it. Kenseth was also involved. Huge playoff implications. See the cars that were involved. So, oh, by the way, Dylan Murray got the lucky dog right when the caution came out. So Edwards and Earnhardt Jr., who were spinning in that incident, got the wave around. So Kenseth and Gordon were part of that incident. Gordon gets the wave around. Jimmy Johnson is 18th. He is now the new leader of the championship board. Dylan Murray restarts in the same position in 18th. Right now, 25th on the track. Half a second ahead of Lyndon Castle. A lot of lap cars between now and yesterday. Murray crosses down under Martin. He's well under the inside lane. Dylan Murray is basically shoving Quapple down the front stretch. as he charges the corner, trying to make his way back to the front. Crosses into Gilliland. Got Austin Dillon and Casey Mears fighting for 10th. Oh, big moment there. Whoa, Murway gets loose. Gonna try to blend back in the line. Okay. Oh, Castle into the wall. Big jam up this time. Somehow that wasn't an incident. Johnson wants to get out of the way. And around goes Castle into the wall. Nice save for Dylan Murway. We are still green here at Homestead. Cars are coming to pit road by the looks of it. Big cluster up ahead. Nemechek in the middle. Junior up there as well. He's on the bottom. And Stewart almost turns it into the pack. 3 wide. Junior on the bottom. Big checkup, and around goes Marcus Ambrose. And he collects Juan Montoya, and the caution comes out. Jimmy Johnson did get the lucky dog. It's going to be a short sprint to the championship here. 3 cautions so far in the second half of this race. And somehow we almost had 4. Rob Biffle leads. Robbie Gordon with a nice little shot from Dylan Murway, and around he goes. Somehow Robbie Gordon saves it. Speed jams the wall. Oh, Robbie Gordon with a big hit. And, everybody piling in. Everyone's trying to look for a way out of this. Robbie Gordon slams the brakes. You got about 4 cars into the inside wall as the caution comes back out. And it looks like Carl Edwards may have made it through. No, Edwards is sideways. He's being turned by Boyer. It ain't over till it's over. Yellow flag number 3 on the day. Robbie Gordon into the wall, causing a massive checkup, collecting Scott Speed. Last second fake by Dylan Murway leaves Ricky Stenhouse on pit out on the track.
Okay, do a splash of fuel. With 4 tires in here, bud. Crew's on the wall and ready.
Fill her up. And Oy vey. So now Junior is the leader in the Final Four, then Murray, Johnson, and Carl Edwards. It's going to be a battle between Dylan Murray and Jimmy Johnson for the championship, most likely. Ricky Stenhouse is the only driver that stayed out, by the way. Outside lane, hanging back a little bit on that start, lying the inside to really pick up steam. Bain trying to leave a gap on the bottom. Up the track he goes. And looks like Dylan Murray is back to the point. He's got a big mess of cars. Ambrose gets loose. He saves it. Ambrose up the track. Junior takes the lead back and the championship lead as well by 2 cars. Every position counts, especially when it comes to possible pit strategy here. Now Dylan takes the lead back. Edwards and Johnson continue to shuffle further back in the pack. And Dylan Murray gets his car back rolling to the top 10. 17 to go in the season. Murray trying to get under Ambrose. Gonna try to send it 3 wide. Ran Ambrose a little wide. Ambrose comes down low. Stenhouse continues to lead and showing why he's going to be a strong face in the Sprint Cup Series next season. Meanwhile, Dylan Murray and Marcus Ambrose continue to fight for 9th. Stenhouse leads 8 cars up ahead. Murray tries to charge the corner to get to Jeff Gordon. Stenhouse still leads 8 cars in a blanket for the lead for the win. Dylan Murray wants a championship. He is on a rocket ship right now. He just passed half of that group, that 8-car group. McMurray up the track. McMurray into the wall. And McMurray just takes out Dylan Murray. The caution has not come out. And that may have just been the season right there. For Dylan Murray. The yellow is not out. And I think Dylan Murray is probably going to look for that 1 car after the race just for that. That little dust up there. David Stremme leads. Now as pit stops continue, the next round of green flag stops. Two more cars heading to pit road. Brandon Castle and Joni, looks like Bobby Labonte. Dylan Murray charging the corner. And they're ruling that the reason the caution didn't come out for Dylan Murray is because he was able to immediately spin the car back around. Now I think you're going to have to go for strategy here. Because if you don't, that may have just been the championship. You got a car having a little bit of trouble getting on pit road. Edwards on pit road. Drivers heading down to pit lane. There's several cars heading to pit road now, including Edwards, Harvick, among others. McMurray on pit lane. I think Dylan Murray would probably be banking for a caution right now. Put a couple more, past a couple more cars. Right back to the lead. He did it the old school way. Got spun out by McMurray. Came back, finished third. Didn't get a caution. 8 laps to go in the season. He's going to need a miracle. Money stop for this season. Right behind Jimmy Johnson. For Dylan Murray. This is the money stop.
Here we go.
Dylan Murray will come out behind Jimmy Johnson. Caution comes out. Robbie Gordon, Ryan Newman, Michael McDowell, and Joe Nemechek.
Racetrack's clear.
So as of right now, Jimmy Johnson, Dylan Murray, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. are in the top 15. Edwards struggling in 24th. Jimmy Johnson would be your champion if this race were to end with 2 to go. And finally, 2 of the final 4 were caught up in early incidents. Dylan Murray got dumped by Jamie McMurray, and Dale Jr. was part of that first caution with Kenseth and Gordon. Gordon's up into the top 10.
Hold your position.
5 to go.
All right, behind you. Go to the low side.
Oh, Dylan Murray is going to try to get low on McMurray. And around goes McMurray. David Reagan slams into Jimmy Johnson. And the caution comes out. Oh, boy. Dylan Murray, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jr., all in the top 10. This could be the Murray and Johnson show. Johnson on the inside. 3 laps left in the season. Can Stremme earn his first career win? Will Dylan Murray earn his first championship? Murway forcing it on Stremme. Two upstart teams fighting for a win and a championship. One team fighting for a win, one team fighting for a championship. Johnson with a terrible start. Here comes Kurt Busch, Jr. in fifth. 2 to go in the season. Murway up the track. Stremme with the run. Who does he block? Murway to Stremme, to Kurt Busch. And on the top, here comes Stremme on the bottom. Out of turn 4. He is clear. Will Kurt Busch make a move? He's got to run. White flag waves. Final lap this season. Bring it home, man. Come on. Do a mile-high salute for me when you get to the line. Kurt Busch trying to make a move. Murway, he's started this team up at the beginning of the season hoping to just compete with the big teams of the world. 2 turns away and almost losing his spot in the championship 4 at Phoenix. He is going to do just that. Kurt Busch with the last run. It won't be enough. Dylan Murway is your NASCAR Inside Line champion. Oh, boy. What a season. Oh, wow. My bad. For this team in Murway Racing, Jimmy Johnson hit a terrible restart, slipped all the way to 11th. 3rd in the final standings. Earnhardt Jr. finished 4th. He will end up 2nd. Carl Edwards with a rough day will end up 25th in the championship. Greg Biffle, wow. Tough go to what would have been a tough season for Kevin Harvick. Goes to show you need to win to make it to the championship. What a drive. What a season. Murway Racing is going to be partying well into the evening here on South Beach.